Let me tell you what went down in Maple Grove Estates last month, folks. Picture this. Rows of identical two-story colonials with white trim, lawns so green they look photoshopped, and every mailbox exactly the same shade of navy blue because the HOA said so. On paper, it's the American dream. Kids on bikes, barbecues on weekends, everybody smiling like we're in a commercial. But underneath, it's a pressure cooker run by Victoria Lang, our HOA president. She called herself the guardian of standards, but we all knew she was just a control freak with a clipboard and a god complex. Rules keep property values up, she'd chirp at every meeting, while her own backyard shed sat there unpermitted for 3 years. Classic Karen move, rules for thee, exceptions for me. The Rivera family moved in quietly last spring. Alex Rivera worked from home as some kind of tech consultant. Nice guy, always waving, never complained. His wife Elena, tall, sharp-eyed, always in plain clothes coming home at weird hours. Their 10-year-old daughter Lily was the kind of kid who said, "Yes, ma'am," and helped old Mrs. Patterson with her groceries. They kept the lawn mowed, paid dues on time, and minded their business. Should have been fine, right? Wrong. Victoria spotted them and decided they were a threat to her little kingdom. It started small, the way these things always do. First fine, $75 for unauthorized bird feeder because the pole was half an inch too tall. Alex just paid it with a quiet smile and moved the feeder. Then the garden hose left out overnight, another $50. Elena never said a word. She'd just nod politely at Victoria during walk-bys and keep walking. Lily started biting her lip every time the golf cart rolled past. You could see the kid worrying that this perfect, new home was about to disappear like the unstable one before it. Alex and Elena never raised their voices, but I watched from my window. They were watching back, filing every receipt, every email. Patient. Calculating. The kind of patience that makes you nervous if you're on the wrong side. Neighbors whispered. "She's just doing her job," some said. But we all saw Victoria's hypocrisy. She'd ticket Mrs. Patel for Christmas lights up past January 15th while her own husband parked his truck on the grass for weeks. Dark humor of it? She'd smile at meetings and say, "This is for the children." Like finding a family for a slightly crooked welcome mat was saving Lily's future. Satire at its finest, suburban warriors fighting decline with petty cash grabs while ignoring real problems. The tension ratcheted up every week. Victoria started patrolling harder, clipboard out, sunglasses on like she was Secret Service. She'd knock on doors about excessive noise from kids playing tag or question why Elena's car was parked 2 inches over the line. Alex would answer the door calm as ever. "Victoria, the bylaws say nothing about bird feeders or hose storage." I checked. She'd huff, "The spirit of the rules, Alex." The spirit, and storm off in her little cart, leaving that sour smell of bruised ego in the air. Elena would just sip her coffee on the porch and say softly to Alex, "She's building her own noose." "Let her." Lily overheard once and asked, "Mom, are we in trouble?" Elena knelt down, hugged her tight. "No, baby. Some people just like feeling big. We're fine." But you could feel the worry in the house. The fear that one more fine or one more confrontation would crack the fragile peace they'd finally found after years of custody battles and moves. By October, the whole street felt it. Curtains twitched when Victoria drove by. People stopped waving quite so eagerly. Alex started recording every interaction on his phone, smart, quiet moves. Elena kept her cool, but her eyes had that steel look, the one that said she'd seen worse than lawn Nazis. And Victoria? She got bolder. Started leaving passive-aggressive notes in mailboxes. Reminder, community harmony begins with compliance. The irony was thick. You could cut it with a butter knife. She was turning a peaceful cul-de-sac into a police state over flower colors and flag heights. And we all felt the slow boil of resentment growing. Little did Victoria know she was about to light the match on the wrong family. The breaking point came on a golden October evening, the kind where the leaves look painted and everyone's grilling. Elena had pulled a brutal double shift. None of us knew she was actually Captain Elena Voss, commander of the entire state police tactical division. She came home early for once, plain clothes, no uniform, just wanting to hug Lily and kick off her boots. Instead of driving straight into the garage, She walked through the side gate to grab the mail first. Totally normal. Totally her property. Victoria was out front pruning roses like she owned the block. The second Elena touched that gate, Victoria's head snapped up. Excuse me. This is private property. You need authorization. Elena turned, calm, keys still in hand. Victoria, this is my house. 142, Maple Lane. I live here. Victoria stepped closer, phone already out, voice climbing into that shrill register we all dreaded. I don't recognize you. You're trespassing. Step off immediately, or I'm calling 911. Elena actually chuckled, a low, dark laugh that sent chills down my spine from across the street. You're serious? You fined us 6 times this year. You know exactly who I am. But Victoria was in full Karen mode. She dialed, voice dripping fake fear. Officer, there's an intruder at 142, Maple Lane refusing to leave. She's aggressive. I feel threatened. Send someone now. Sirens wailed in the distance within minutes. Curtains flew open. Kids froze on bikes. Alex pulled up right then with groceries, Lily in the passenger seat. He saw the scene, set the bags down slow, and walked over with that same steady gravity he always had. No yelling. Just presence. The patrol car screeched up. 2 officers stepped out, hands near holsters, scanning the yard. Victoria rushed forward like she was the victim of the century. She broke in. She's dangerous. Elena stood still, hands visible, voice even. This is my home. She's mistaken. Alex stepped between them gently. Officers, this is my wife. She lives here. Here's the deed if you need it. The first officer asked for ID. Elena handed hers over without a word. Victoria kept ranting. She intimidated me. Call backup. That's when the air changed. The officer scanned the ID on his laptop. His posture straightened like someone flipped a switch. He glanced at his partner, then back at Elena with sudden respect. Captain Voss. Victoria froze mid-sentence. The second officer pulled Victoria aside. Ma'am, your call described an armed intruder barricaded inside. This doesn't match. Victoria sputtered. I felt threatened. But the recording Alex quietly offered showed everything. Her exaggeration, her false claims, the exact wording that triggered automatic high-level review. The officers exchanged looks. One muttered into his radio. Victoria's face went pale as the system she loved to weaponize started turning on her. Lily watched from the sidewalk, eyes wide, clutching Alex's hand. You could see the kid remembering every past move, every threat of losing home again. Alex rested a hand on her shoulder, voice low but firm. It's okay, kiddo. The rules she loves so much. They're about to bite her. Elena met his eyes across the yard, silent understanding. They'd waited. They'd collected. Now the trap was closing. The twist hit like a freight train. The officer typed Elena's name again, double-checking. The screen lit up with her credentials. Captain Elena Voss, State Police Commander, decorated, respected across departments. The second officer's jaw actually dropped. Ma'am, we're sorry for the inconvenience. This call is clearly false. Victoria's mouth opened and closed like a fish. But she refused to leave. The first officer cut her off, tone cold now. Your 911 transcript uses language that automatically flags for audit. Armed intruder, barricaded, immediate danger. That's not a neighborhood spat. That's a felony-level misuse of emergency services. Victoria tried to backpedal, clutching her phone like a shield. I was protecting the community. Alex stepped forward, voice low and lethal in its calm. Interesting. Because I helped design the exact protocol that just flagged your call. The one that routes false reports straight to internal affairs and state oversight. I left that world for peace, but it still works perfectly. The officer's head snapped toward him. Recognition hit. One actually said, You're Marcus. Wait, Alex Rivera? The architect of the verification framework. Alex nodded once. Retired from that side. But the system doesn't forget. The street went graveyard quiet. Neighbors who'd been peeking now stepped onto porches. Whispers rippled. She called 911 on the police commander? And her husband built the trap? Victoria's blazer suddenly looked too tight. She tried one last swing. This is my neighborhood. I enforce the rules. Elena finally spoke, soft but cutting like a blade. Rules? You've been pocketing fines for years. Cash only, no receipts. We have the ledger copies. The shed in your yard violates every code you enforce on us. Irony's a bitch, Victoria. Lily's shoulders relaxed for the first time in months as the officers informed Victoria her report would trigger a full state audit. Public exposure started right there. Phones came out, neighbors recording openly. Victoria's face crumpled from rage to panic in real time. The officers apologized to Elena again, offered her an escort inside if needed. She declined politely. No need. We're home. But the look she gave Victoria said everything. This wasn't over. The system Alex built was just warming up. That night, the HOA group chat exploded. Victoria tried to spin it. Misunderstanding for everyone's safety. But comments poured in. People finally admitting the years of bullying, the fake fines, the threats. One neighbor posted the photo of Victoria's illegal shed. Another shared a screenshot of a $200 cash fine with no record. The dam broke. Alex and Elena sat on their porch with Lily between them, sipping hot chocolate like nothing happened. But inside, they knew. The twist had just turned petty HOA drama into a full-blown reckoning. Victoria had weaponized the system against the wrong family, and the system was about to weaponize back. Morning after brought the real fallout. Victoria woke up to yellow flyers taped everywhere, her own handwriting style, but now the neighborhood was using them against her. Urgent. HOA leadership under attack by outsiders. She'd printed them at 3 a.m., trying to play martyr. Instead, people ripped them down and started their own thread. Time for transparency. Alex printed the officer's preliminary report, every exaggeration highlighted in red. He didn't post it. He just left copies on a few key porches. Word spread faster than her golf cart ever could. By noon, Gloria from 2 doors down knocked with 3 other neighbors. We're done, she said flatly. She fined me $150 last year for a non-approved wreath. Turns out it was cash straight to her pocket. They had receipts. Elena invited them in, made coffee, and quietly showed the full audit notice that had already landed in her inbox. The state's taking it seriously, she said. Multiple false calls. Embezzlement-level fines. Her own violations. The neighbor's eyes widened. Dark humor kicked in when someone joked. She always said rules are rules. Guess they apply to her now. Victoria tried damage control. She banged on their door at 2 p.m., folder in hand, face flushed. We need to talk. This is a misunderstanding. Alex stepped outside first. Victoria, the recording is already with auditors. The protocol I designed? It cross-references every call you've made in the last 3 years. 3 other false reports. All flagged. Elena joined him, voice silky with irony. You wanted enforcement? You're getting it. From people who actually know the law. Lily watched from the window, no longer scared, just proud. Victoria's bluster cracked. You're ruining me. Alex shrugged. You did that yourself. Public exposure isn't revenge. It's sunlight. The neighborhood turned fast. People who once nodded at Victoria's rules now avoided her cart. The HOA board called an emergency meeting for that night. Victoria showed up clutching papers, trying to look presidential. But when the board read the audit summary aloud, illegal fines totaling over $12,000, 3 false 911 calls, her shed violation, the room went dead silent. One board member actually said, Victoria, you've been suspended pending full investigation. She tried to scream about loyalty and the community I built. Gloria stood up. You controlled it. We're taking it back. The applause wasn't loud, it was final. That night Lily slept without nightmares for the first time in weeks. Alex and Elena sat on the porch watching the streetlights. She thought power was hers to hoard, Alex said softly. She never understood it belongs to the rules done right. Elena squeezed his hand. And we just reminded the whole street. The twist had done its job, the system was rolling, and Victoria was finally feeling the weight she'd thrown at everyone else. The emergency HOA meeting was standing room only. Victoria sat at the head table like a queen on trial, makeup caked on to hide the sleepless nights. The board laid everything out, the audit findings, the cash fines, with no paper trail, her repeated misuse of 911. When they played the recording of her call, voice shrill, lies crystal clear, the room gasped. Alex didn't gloat. He just sat beside Elena and Lily in the front row, calm as ever. Elena stood when asked. I didn't come here for revenge. I came home. She turned it into a crime scene. Her voice never rose, but every word landed like a gavel. Victoria tried one last desperate swing. I was protecting us all. A neighbor in the back laughed bitterly. From what? A mom checking her mail? Another stood. You threatened to fine me for my kid's lemonade stand. You took cash from Mrs. Patel when she couldn't fight back. Enough. The vote was unanimous. Victoria removed immediately. All collected money to be refunded. Her name forwarded to the DA for the false reports. She stood up, papers scattering, face twisted. You'll regret this. But no one moved to help her. The cart she loved so much sat outside with a new for sale sign someone had taped on it. Poetic. As she stormed out, the room actually breathed easier. Gloria took the gavel temporarily. New committee, transparent, fair, no more tyrants. Cheers finally broke out. Lily looked up at her parents, eyes shining. We're really staying? Elena kissed her forehead. We're home, baby. And it's better now. Alex smiled that quiet, satisfied smile. The revenge wasn't loud fireworks. It was the slow, unstoppable collapse of a bully who thought she owned the street. Weeks later, the state audit concluded. Victoria faced misdemeanor charges for the false calls, restitution ordered, and a permanent mark on her record. She sold the house quietly and moved away. The new HOA actually listened. Bird feeders approved, hoses forgiven, kids playing without fear. Maple Grove Estates finally felt like the dream it pretended to be. Neighbors waved again, but this time with real smiles. And every time I drive past the Rivera house, I see Lily riding her bike, Elena on the porch with coffee, Alex grilling like nothing ever happened. But I know the truth. They didn't just win. They reminded every control freak in suburbia that the rules you love to swing like a club can swing right back. Public exposure, smart patience, and a system built for justice? That's the ultimate suburban mic drop. Justice wasn't loud. It was perfect. And the whole street slept better because of it.